but we have enormous potential in this state. We really do. This state has done great things in the past, and we can do great things again. We really can. But first, before we can do those great things, and what's keeping us from doing those great things, is we have a broken, corrupt, and dysfunctional government in Colombia. We do. And there's another phrase that you can say just as easy. We have a system of plantation politics. That's plantation politics. And that's been the case in South Carolina for 300 years. We've just changed plantation masters from time to time. But we have a plantation politics in this system. And if we don't change that, then what we are bequeathing to our children is another place on the plantation. That's what we're saying to them. And the way we change that is first and foremost education. We have got to totally reinvent our public education system from not just pre-K, but prenatal all the way to post-grad. We are 50 in the country in education. We are condemning our children to the plantation if we don't fix education in this state. And I was criticized because I said we ought to fire a bunch of teachers. And we should. And I will take no prisoners. I will take no second place to fixing education for our children. We don't have a kid problem in education. We've got an adult problem in education. Is we've got to stop this attack on the people of South Carolina by the utility companies. We are under attack. They're essentially stealing $9 billion of our money. $9 billion. And the reason that's happening is because the state legislature has become a bought and paid for, wholly owned subsidiary of the utility companies. They are. They are. And if anybody stands up before you and says they're for utility reform, if anybody asks you that, ask them two questions. Are you taking money from the utility companies, and did you give it back? And we've got people in this race who are on the committee. The legislature appoints a committee. We're going to investigate the utilities, right? Of the 32 members of that committee, every single one of them took money from one of the other utilities. Every one. And they're going to do the investigation? Give me a break. And it ain't been much fun to be a Democrat in this state for a long time because we've been losing. And the reason we lose is because we don't have candidates who will stand up for our democratic values. They don't stand up and say, this is what I believe, this is what I'm going to do, and tell you the truth about it. But they've spent their life in the legislature. They're a product of that system. They stand up and talk in vague generalities and fluffy language. But the reality is, it's the same old politics. So that's our choice. Do we want to keep nominating the same old politics, the same old people, going to get the same old results? Or we can elect new people, outsiders who are committed to change, because we can do great things in this state. But first, we've got to make it better and change. Thank you.